Hi everyone, David MacDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary. Today we're going to answer a very common question that we get, and that is how many calories do I burn in one boot camp class? Okay, so our boot camp workouts, we will have clients who come up to us afterwards and they ask, how many calories do you think I burned today? Or, I need to put this into my app, or I need to factor this into my nutrition. What do you think I burned? And that really depends on the person. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to a lot of questions in health and fitness, but especially this one, because it's really dependent on the individual. So the first thing that we want to look at is we want to look at body weight. Okay, that has a significant impact on how many calories that you burn in a workout. Okay, so we take a guy who's say 6'2", 220 pounds, and we put him beside a female who's say 5'2" and maybe 135 pounds. Well, the guy's going to burn more calories naturally because he's got more mass to move. Okay, so his body has to work harder throughout the workout because he's working against more mass. Okay, so we look at things like a squat, a lunge, a deadlift, a push-up. The guy has to move his body weight plus the weight that he's lifting. Okay, which is more likely than not going to be higher than what the female weighs and what she's lifting. Now, of course, there's exceptions to every rule. If the female is very strong, okay, she might be lifting the same amount of weight as the guy, but on average, okay, the guy is going to burn more calories throughout the workout just because he has more mass to move overall. So that's number one. Number two is your intensity. And your intensity is really going to be dependent on your fitness level, your body weight, even your state of mind. Mentally, how far can you push yourself? We have clients that they come in here and they're not the fittest. They might have 30 or 40 extra pounds that they need to lose, but mentally they can really push themselves. They can really empty the tank. So that's going to increase the intensity of your workout. The other thing to look at is what's known as economy of effort, okay, or how well you move from a biomechanical standpoint. So people who are very proficient at movement and exercise, and they just have a natural skill set and movement, they're actually going to burn less calories than someone who doesn't. Okay, so if you look at, let's say, the average person and you put them beside a professional athlete, the professional athlete is going to move with much more grace and a lot less effort than the average person, so they're not going to burn as many calories. Okay, but the person who, the person who's not the athlete is going to burn more calories because biomechanically they're not as skilled as the athlete. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. There is, two sides to this coin as well. An athlete who is, biomechanically skilled and who can move well without a lot of effort, they can also increase their intensity. Okay, so they have more room to increase the intensity of their workout and to make things more difficult. Okay, so if we were training an athlete, in order to make the workout harder for them and more intense, then we could give them something more advanced, and that would change the amount of biomechanical effort they would have to put into the movement. Therefore, they would burn more calories. So there's more room to increase intensity if you're fitter. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, and there's kind of two sides to that equation. Whereas someone who's not as fit, okay, they're going to find basic movements very difficult. They're going to burn a lot of calories, but there's not a lot of room to increase intensity, because if we increase intensity for someone who isn't ready for it, then we're risking injury. Okay, so those are many factors that we need to look at. So it's really dependent on your body weight. Okay, it's really dependent on your intensity, how hard you're working, which is dependent on, again, how much weight you're carrying, your fitness level, mentally how far you can push yourself. The other thing we're looking at is biomechanical effort. So can you move with grace and can you move effortlessly? Okay, so a person who's an athlete, again, is probably not going to burn as many calories on a push-up compared to someone who's an average trainee. So that person who's very fit would need something more advanced. Okay, so all of these things are going to really determine how many calories you burn in a workout here at boot camp. Now, if we were to give an average number based on what we've seen, we've had clients come in and they've actually measured the amount of calories they burn in a workout. The average female will typically burn 3 up to 500 calories in a workout. Okay, the average guy will typically burn anywhere from 5 to up to 900 calories we've seen as high at. Now, that's not to say that there's not exceptions, there's not outliers. We've had women that have come in here that are very fit, very strong, they push themselves mentally, they've burned 700 calories. We've had guys in the same scenario, they've burned 1,000 calories. So again, there's always those extremes, but as a general average, 300 to 500 for women and about 500 to 700 for men. Okay, that's how many calories you're gonna burn in a boot camp workout. The other thing to consider as well is the calories you burn after the workout. So we are gonna be creating what's known as afterburn. Okay, an afterburn comes from excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, also known as EPOC. Okay, so that's gonna also burn calories after the workout, okay, because we are creating oxygen deficit. That deficit needs to be replaced after the workout. Think of how you feel after a set of sprints. Okay, you're depleting your body of oxygen. We got to repay that oxygen deficit after the workout, and that requires energy and that requires calories. So you are going to be burning calories after the workout as well. So what number you would attribute to that, I really don't know. We would actually have to put you in a lab and test you, but also something to consider that you are burning calories after the workout. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get these weekly videos. If you guys have any questions you'd like us to answer, feel free to post questions below. We'd be happy to answer any questions and take any feedback that you guys have. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.